He'll make some things happen down the line in the future, but we'll never look at him the same after that destruction. Not to say that we won't respect him, but we'll never look at him the same.
Everybody know Tank, kind of like he say, they love him too.
It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people.
The boxing world has been shaken by the latest controversy surrounding Gervonta Davis, with serious allegations of rigging.
Top fighter in the world, pound for pound. We can do that. What we cannot do is debate who's the most exciting fighter, who's the biggest box office attraction in boxing. That would happen to be Gervonta Davis. We just got to accept it. I think that Frank Martin is a talented fighter. He'll make some things happen down the line in the future, but we'll never look at him the same after that destruction. Not to say that we won't respect him, but we'll never look at him the same because he got destroyed by Gervonta Davis. And that's no shame, that's no slouch, but damn, still in all, if you get destroyed, you get destroyed. Gervonta Davis is the #1 box office attraction. Who I want to see him against next is Shakur Stevenson. I don't want to see him against Devin Haney because Devin Haney has proven to me that he's not a good punch taker. I want to see Gervonta Davis in the ring with somebody perceived as having enough power to put him on the canvas.
Overshadowing his recent fight against Lamont Roach. Prominent voices in the sport, including analysts, former fighters, and respected.
Defend his title. He like I said, they both was looking at each other, and then finally after look, Tank will be the one to throw the first punch. He felt like he wanted to retain his title. Lamont Roach felt like he was just happy to be there and get the success. He wasn't trying to take the title. He wasn't trying to take the title. And I'm saying that even from the last round, just even the last round, the final 20, 30 seconds of the last round, he wasn't throwing no punches. He looked at him and got caught with a jab. You can't close the show with a guy like that, with a guy like Tank Davis like that. Now, if he'd have had a knockdown or something, like a real knockdown or something, maybe he feeling, but you can't stop until the bell ends. You can't, even if you're being active and slipping and sliding and something, he just standing there looking at him. I don't know. I didn't understand that. I don't understand why fighters sit there and look at each other for a long time. Change the angle, keep a rhythm in your way, snap a jab, do a feint. Ain't no need of you standing there looking at no man for 20 seconds in a fight. That don't make sense. But so I think, like I say, Lamont Roach, he will be kicking himself in the ass that he didn't do more, but grateful.
Commentators have weighed in on the issue, calling for a closer look at the judging and decision-making process that determined the fight's outcome.
Stands. That's crazy. So you can get KO'd, you get finished, they give you 2 minutes to come back, and if you could knock that guy out, then it's a draw.
They also haven't used the rule yet.
So you go knockout for knockout.
Boy, that rule looks like it's written by lawyers, doesn't it? Doesn't that rule look written by lawyers? So find out what's happening, because I think they were going to announce something today about Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis decision on the knockdown. It was a very good fight, though. Lamont Roach is very good. I was really impressed because Tank is really nasty. Tank is so fucking powerful. Yeah. He's so vicious. Like his one punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground and his uppercuts, they're just fucking devastating. Yeah. So, like, for Lamont Roach, not just to survive, but,
do some damage.
To do damage and
put him on the knee.
Basically bring it to a draw, which, if they do change this because of that knee, it becomes a victory.
One of the most vocal critics has been Smith, who has not held back in slamming Gervonta Davis over the accusations, questioning the fairness of the match and urging him to prove himself in a
Tank Davis says he took a knee because he got his hair done a few days ago and something dripped into his eyes. Ryan Garcia said that Lamont Roach won that fight. And he continues with, not calling that knockdown is the most wild thing I've ever seen in boxing. That type of stuff makes boxing look bad. And then says, crazy shit, see y'all May 2nd. Terrence Crawford said they robbed that boy and it's crazy. Roach won and that should have been called the knockdown. Let's see what happens. Devin Haney says, I was waiting for the backflip. Even Turkey Al-Ashi had something to say about the fight. He said, if you charge people $80 per pay-per-view, you must give them a good card with good production. What are your thoughts? Then Terrence Crawford continues with, some of y'all need to watch Mayweather versus Hernandez and see Mayweather takes a knee because he hurt his hand and it was called a knockdown, not from a punch either. He says, I've never seen someone take a knee and they don't count it as a knockdown. Must have forgot the rules for tonight. And Shakur Stevenson is willing to fight Lamont Roach. But in your honest thoughts, who do you think should have won this fight? Do you believe with the decision as a draw? Or do you
match against Roach? Smith believes that the controversy has cast a shadow of Gervonta Davis' reputation and that the only way to clear his name is to step.
You just think he took the knee? I can't speak on it. Can't speak on that? Can't speak on it. He did some bullshit though? I can't speak on it. No personal opinion, nothing? Can't.
Back into the ring and fight Roach again under fair circumstances. Coach Bernie, another respected figure in the boxing community, also shared his thoughts on the bout, expressing disappointment Gervonta Davis' performance and approach to the fight.
Know how else you can see it. And when people talk about the delay, well, there's a delay. We've seen much worse delay, especially on body shots. Someone takes a body shot, backs up, and it's several seconds, then they take a knee. And people take knees for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes you're under assault and you need a break. Yeah. It's all a knockdown.
Jimmy, we've seen, if I think of fights in the past where voluntary knees have happened, you know, off of not one single moment or one single punch. You think of Mayweather against Carlos Famoso Hernandez, when he lands the punch and turns his back and takes a knee, he gets counted. You think of Miguel Cotto against Antonio Margarito, where, you know, it was under duress and he just took that knee. And of course, my compadre right here, Chris Algieri against Ruslan Provodnikov as well. It wasn't a particular shot. You feel something, you feel discomfort, you take a knee. All those times, there's a count, dude. And I'll tell you what, Steve Willis also knew there was a count because he started counting and then stopped.
Yeah, we'll get to it. There's more than one pillar of this defense for Lamont Roach Jr., but the first one's a knockdown, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of experts on the panel today. I'm going to speak from a fighter standpoint, just like you did, Champ. You know, and you can argue whether that right hand landed clean or if it landed hard or how hard those jabs.
According to Gervonta Davis, did not fight with the intensity and dominance expected from a champion, instead seeming content to merely go through the motions rather than decisively proving his superiority in the ring. In contrast, Bernie praised Roach's sense of urgency, highlighting the hunger and determination he displayed throughout the match. He emphasized that a fighter Gervonta Davis' caliber and reputation should not have let the fight end in a manner that left so many questions unanswered. Instead, Bernie Gervonta Davis should have delivered a statement victory, one that left no doubts in the minds of fans, experts, and his critics. Adding fuel to the fire, Joe Rogan has also entered the conversation.
Rules of what a referee has to follow. First of all, the referee is the sole arbiter, the only person able to determine whether to stop a fight or not, and anything else that happens in a ring. The second is part of his ability to do things when fouls occur. If a boxer fouls or acts in an unsportsmanlike manner during the bout or in between rounds, the referee should admonish or disqualify the offending boxer, depending upon the severity of the offense. And number 3, talks about penalizing and points. While warnings are generally preferred, the severity of a foul can warrant the immediate point deduction without any prior warnings. So now, what gives a referee the ability to call what you guys are talking about as a knockdown? I don't know if you guys know, maybe you can tell me. If not, I'll surely tell you. Do you guys know what the description of a legal knockdown?
Voicing strong criticisms regarding the way the fight was officiated. Rogan openly questioned the application of the rules in Gervonta Davis' Roach fight, suggesting that they appeared to be written to benefit Gervonta Davis, ensure a fair contest. He argued that the regulatory decisions seemed more in line with legal maneuvering than with the principles of professional boxing, implying that the system was designed in a way that worked in Gervonta Davis' favor.
Or just the fight. Who did you have winning? Because I've been seeing mixed reviews.
Well, you know, listen, it was a good fight, man. You know what I mean? And Whatchacallum came to fight. Lamont came to fight. They know each other. Just watch out each other, man. And amateurs and pro fights is not the same. You know what I mean? He beat him 2 times in the amateur, but this time, Lamont was ready, man. He was ready. He was in shape. He took tank punches. You know what I mean? And they was going back and forth. You know what I mean? And I thought it was a real close fight, but I thought Lamont edged it.
Okay. Were you surprised that Lamont backed Tank up and was winning in exchanges? Because Tank is looked at as probably the biggest puncher in boxing.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised because, like I said, when he came out The first time he came out using his jab, and like he was backing him up. But you know, Tank fight that way a lot anyway. He fight like that anyway. He'll move around, and you can back him up all you want. And you know, Tank set them traps, man. He set them traps. So, you know, the traps that he was trying to set, was prepared for the trap. You know what I mean? He was prepared for the trap because he would counter, and Lamont would counter right back. You know what I mean? So it was a great fight, man. Can't take nothing away from neither one of them.
Now, as far as the knee goes, you've been in boxing for over 40 years.
Over 40.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like that? A guy takes a knee?
No. Now, that's something I didn't.
Rovin's sharp critique has led to increased scrutiny on the officiating body responsible for overseeing the bout, with fans and analysts calling for greater transparency in future high-stakes fights. Furthermore, Rogan took the time to acknowledge Roach's boxing skills, expressing admiration for his technical ability and tenacity in the ring. He noted that Roach fought with exceptional heart and skill.
Honestly, backed up Gervonta Davis a lot. Ultimately, I don't think the draw is the worst decision in the world. I think, you know, obviously Lamont overperformed here, or at least the look is that he overperformed. But I'll tell you where robbery can come into play. 2 scorecards were even. There's a knockdown not given to Lamont Roach. You know, Gervonta took a knee on his own. Let's remember when Mayweather did this against Carlos Famoso Hernandez years ago when his hand hurt, the referee counted him. So that was counted as a knockdown. Steve Willis is supposed to count that as a knockdown. And if Steve Willis counts that as a knockdown, Lamont wins by 1 point on 2 scorecards. And that knee that Gervonta Davis took ends up becoming the difference on the scorecards. I don't think a draw is the worst result in the world. I will say this.
Taking the fight to Davis and proving himself to be a worthy contender. Rogan went on to state that had the knockdown been officially counted, a decision that remains one of the most hotly debated aspects of the fight, Roach would have undoubtedly secured the victory. This assertion has added more pressure on Davis, as many now believe that the outcome of the fight may have been unjustly influenced by the officiating. The controversy has sparked heated debates among fans and experts, with some defending Davis and others insisting that the fight's outcome was tainted. While Davis remains a top-tier fighter with an impressive record, this latest scandal threatens to damage his legacy unless he takes steps to rectify the situation. The call for a rematch has grown louder, with many arguing that the only way to resolve the dispute